Programme. In a world first, the UK has approved Pfizer's COVID-19 vaccine, opening the way for mass immunisation in the country. Those most at risk of dying could be vaccinated within days once the first shipment of 800,000 doses arrives. British regulators granted emergency use at breakneck speed just over 3 weeks after Pfizer published the first data from its late-stage clinical trial. But Prime Minister Boris Johnson says there are still difficult times ahead.
It is very, very important that people do not get their hopes up too soon about the speed with which we will be able to roll out this vaccine. It is beginning, as my right honourable friend, the Health Secretary, has said, from next week. We are expecting several million doses of the Pfizer-Biontech vaccine before the end of the year. We will then be rolling it out as fast as we possibly can.
Well, for more on this announcement, let's head to London and our correspondent Tig Enright, who's standing by. Well, hi Tig. Well, things are moving very fast, aren't they? But how is the UK planning to administer these jabs?
Well, it's going to be tricky, Isabel, because this Pfizer vaccine has to be kept very cold at minus 70 degrees. And in the very near term, only hospitals actually have that ability to store the material at that temperature. So that's where we think the very first batch is going to be administered next week. The very top priority group of people to receive the vaccine will be the residents and staff of nursing homes, of care homes for older people. So they will have to go to hospital to get it. But in the medium term, there is a plan to transform sports centres, conference centres into vaccination centres where people can go and get their vaccine. And in future, the hope is that it will feel a bit more normal, that you might go just to your local doctor's surgery or to a pharmacy to get the vaccine. If it's the Pfizer one or the Moderna one, they'll have to have cold storage facilities, but that won't be a problem for the other vaccine, the Oxford vaccine, the one that was developed here in the UK. Again, not yet approved, but when it is, thankfully, it doesn't have to be stored at these sub-zero temperatures.
And Tig, this comes as lockdown measures are tentatively being lifted. How's that going?
Yeah, that's right. In England, this was the first day for 4 weeks that you were able to, if you wanted to, go to a non-essential shop, go to a gym, go to get your haircut or to have a beauty treatment. Pubs and restaurants were able to open again, although in a limited way and only in the lesser affected parts of the country. They're still closed in so-called Tier 3 areas, and actually that covers up to 40% of the population, so quite a big area. For example, this morning I saw queues outside of gyms. There were queues outside of big shops from people who wanted to get out there and do some Christmas shopping. But it's interesting, the people who actually count footfall on Britain's shopping streets said that, yes, obviously it was an awful lot busier than it was this time last week, up to 2/3 busier, but actually up to a quarter less busy than it would have been on the same day last year. So that suggests that people are still being cautious about going out. They're not desperate to go out and do real world shopping after 4 weeks of closures and just over 3 weeks away from Christmas. Isabel?
Okay, and